has provided Supercross fans with many great memories. In 2010, Reed expects a trio of quick young challengers to emerge: Ryan Villapoto, Josh Grant, and Ryan Dungey.
So I think 2010, we got some new guys, and like every other year, it'll all add up to, making it all fun and making it all interesting. The intensity of being young and wanting to do, well and knock the big dogs off the top. Here we are, we're at the end of 2009 going into 2010, and I'm on the Monster Energy Kawasaki team and really, really stoked. It's been an amazing experience, and the bike's great, and all the staff are, enjoyable to be around, so all's good. I feel that things always happen for a reason, and sometimes they happen at times when you least expect it, but, I'm excited for the new year.
In 2010, you can once again gain access to your favorite riders and help the planet at the same time, all courtesy of Monster Energy. Just bring your empty Monster Energy cans to the pits on race day and receive a free pit pass. Last season, thousands of fans across the country cashed in on this great promotion and helped Monster support their recycling efforts. While a typical Saturday afternoon sees thousands of fans gather in the paddock for a close-up look at their favorite rider, there are a group of dedicated men working behind the scenes to make sure these guys run up front. Let's meet the mechanics that make it possible for the top stars to achieve great heights. Brought to you by Motorcycle Mechanics Institute.
The whole team goes out and works together on the bike, and we come up with a base setup, basically. We go to the track with it. It's what you practice on every day, and then each track, might have to change a few things here or there, tires or whatever, but yeah, we basically have a base setup.
Building the bike is putting the basic components of the bike together, making sure they're going to last through the weekend, making sure they're the right specification, that the motorcycle will perform the way the crew and the rider wants. And then when you get to the track, whether you're testing or practicing or at a race situation, you need to be able to communicate what the rider's feeling, even though he might not be able to communicate it the same way to everybody on the team.
My best part of my job is basically have the best bike out there and have Davey win. That's pretty much my best part of the job, because that'll show you that you succeed that weekend, like that was your weekend, even though we do a good job every weekend, but that's just like a trophy for us, and that's the best part. That's the best feeling, just to see your bike that you build, that you work on it, is in the podium, and he's the top guy.
When we come back, a look at the first half of the 2010 Supercross schedule from Anaheim to Atlanta. But right after the break, a trip down memory lane. Who were the heroes who inspired today's top stars? All that and more after this message and a word from your local station.
I guess what made me want to be a professional racer was, growing up. I think when I was 7, I was watching TV thinking like, man, that's what I want to do. I think McGrath was dominating at the time, and he was fast, and I just remember thinking like, man, I really want to do that. That'd be so cool.
Once, I was a kid, I think Jeremy McGrath obviously was huge when I was coming up, and he was a Honda guy, so I think he was a big influence the older I got.
When I used to go to Supercrosses and races and stuff, it was always Kevin Windham. I just liked his style. He was really smooth, and I felt that he was the best dude out there. Just naturally good, gifted rider, and that's all I wanted to be, was just like K-Dub.
Probably in Supercross history, Jeremy McGrath was my idol, because in my time, when I really started knowing about racing, it was when he started being like really dominant, and watching all the race tapes, and sitting there studying, putting it on auto repeat on my VCR and just listening to it while I was sleeping, and so he was my idol. He had great style, and he was the guy I wanted to go after.
The 2010 Monster Energy AMA Supercross and FIM World Championship season will once again begin with a lengthy West Coast swing. And it all begins from Anaheim, California on January 9th. For the 8th straight year, the series will move on to Chase Field in Phoenix for round 2. The series returns to California for 4 straight weeks with races in Anaheim, San Francisco, and San Diego before returning back to Anaheim on February 13th, when the series officially turns pink. The teams, riders, and fans will join with Komen for the Cure to host the first ever breast cancer awareness race at round 6. Once the series leaves California, they head to the Midwest for Round 7 and a race in Indianapolis at Lucas Oil Stadium. And then it's on to Round 8 down in Atlanta in front of a packed house at the Georgia Dome. Later in the show, we will take a look at rounds 9 through 17 as the series returns to the Dallas area and wraps up with the finale in Las Vegas. In 2009, Honda had one of their most disappointing seasons in their long and successful history. The team only managed 8 podiums and no wins. Once the dominant team in the sport, Honda riders are looking for better results in 2010.
I think Honda has kind of been in a drought with winning, and I'm very aware of that, and so is management, and that's the ultimate goal. We had success on the lights class. They were trying to groom us for the future, and the future is now. We're in the Supercross class on 450s. We have great bikes, great staff, and we have all the elements that it takes to win, and it basically comes down to the rider now. And I'm in that situation, I know it, and I need to win. At the same time, I only can take one step at a time. And I'm in the situation where I've been close, but I need a breakthrough, and that breakthrough is speed, and that's something that's very hard to achieve, but it's not something that can't be done. So that's definitely my goal coming into the 2010 series, is to find that speed and to try to win, because if I don't, it's going to be hard to keep going.
Andrew's short strengths definitely would be his physical determination and strength. His ability to be determined with his training and consistent, I'd say, would be his strength. His weakness would be, I think, at times working on his raw speed. Andrew is a very strong rider for the long run, and working on raw speed, I think, is something that he's worked on this off season, and he's improved that. So I think that's definitely going to be a big improvement for this year.
I think the next big step for me is to win a race. I finished third quite a few times. Last year at Anaheim 1, I finished second. That was a goal of mine. The next goal for me is to win a race, and I can't even think about winning a championship until I can accomplish that fact. And once you win a race, you kind of establish yourself as a threat. And for me, basically, to win a race, I need more pure speed. James and Chad last year demonstrated that they were a step ahead of everybody else. For me, I have to bridge that gap if I want to win, and if I want to win a championship, I need to win races.
The past 2 seasons, Georgia's Davey Millsaps has been the team's most successful rider, with 2 wins in 2008 and 4 podiums last year. Millsaps is looking for 2010 to be the year he contends for a Supercross title.
With all the riders out there, hopefully I do pretty good. I'm hoping to be on the podium. I'd like to win it. That'd be really cool. And if not just be on the podium, just to see where I stand. There's a lot of people out there, a lot of top name riders, and we're just all going for it. And it's going to take a lot to get back to where I was. One, confidence. Another one is mental. It's you got to have a lot of mental strength to do what we do, and this year I didn't have any. I was just riding just to ride, basically. I'd go out there to win, but I didn't feel like I could push myself. And better attitude. I've had a better attitude lately about riding and just training and just doing everything that I'm supposed to be doing for what I do. And I've had a way better attitude at it, and hopefully that can take me somewhere better than what it did this year. So it takes a lot of confidence. Mental strength is probably the biggest one for sure.
Davey is very talented, and we're trying to get him to focus on some areas that he needs to improve, and use his strengths to his advantage, and put all the pieces together. I think that he's had a few of the pieces at certain times, and at other times a few pieces of the puzzle are missing, so he needs to put it all together and make it happen.
After the break, meet Suzuki's main man Ryan Dungey when our preview of the 2010 Monster Energy Supercross season continues. Welcome back to a preview